Another show I've been watching lately is House of the Dragon. So it finally wrapped up its first season this past Sunday. So it's pretty fresh. But all right, for those that don't know, it's like if you're a Game of Thrones fan, if you know what Game of Thrones is, it's like a prequel set like 200 years in the past. So you don't have to watch Game of Thrones to know what's going on or anything. It's not like that. But it's basically just one of the families, and so the same last name basically is somebody in Game of Thrones. So you don't have to watch Game of Thrones to know. You don't have to invest
That
100
time that
hours
you're
to
talking about.
80 hours to catch up
I
on
think
it.
I think most of the world watched Game of Thrones. I didn't, but that's because this podcast promotes strong Christian values.
Yeah.
I'm not about to watch a bunch of naked women on the screen,
Yeah.
but I think the world loves Game of
Well, if you're
Thrones. So
looking for strong Christian values, then House of Dragons for you. So
that's what I like to hear.
so I will say it doesn't show as much nudity as Game of Thrones.
Okay,
So it's
that's good
actually
to know.
it's a 10 episode season, about an hour ish per episode. But this is the best thing I've seen on TV in a pretty long time. So
Wow,
uh, I
I've been hearing a lot of that, dude.
I gave it a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna be honest, but I'm a big Game of Thrones
10
fan,
out of
so
10.
I gave it a 10 out of 10. So the story itself, like the first episode, kind of like I talked about on the other episode, the other show, this is a lot better
Uh-huh.
show than that. But as far as like the first episode gripping you.
Yeah.
So this one, like within the first 20, 30 minutes of this show, you kind of know what the premise of the season is going to be. So basically, like it's basically a fight for who has the rights to the throne. So like, is it going to be this person or this person? Like out of the
Right.
in comparison to the king, like is it
Classic
going to be
politics.
is it going to be his daughter? Is it going to be somebody else?
Right.
So basically, it ends up turning into like a basically a family divided. So you've got who he ends up naming his daughter the heir to the throne, but so that causes a bunch of chaos because like this person's got the right to the whatever all the
Uh,
throne, and so
People don't agree.
basically it now basically it just leads up into like the ultimate battle, like so this side's finding whoever backs them and then this side's finding whoever backs them, so it's kind of building to that. It doesn't really get to it yet because obviously they know they're going to make a lot of money, so they're kind of trying to
Stretching
save
it
that for
out.
the next season or
How do you
10
do a season finale without a
next
big
season or
battle?
10. Okay, so the season finale was pretty satisfying. I
Okay.
I don't want to spoil anything,
Yeah, don't
but
spoil anything.
so basically it
Right.
shows what pushes over the edge to start the battle, if that makes sense. Like what's
Okay.
gonna
Yeah,
so
like a turning
they've
point in
kind of
the
it's kind of been like
history.
bickering back and forth, like
Uh,
okay, like but the threat of war
Someone
was
takes it
there.
too far.
Yeah, the threat of battle was there, the threat of war was there, but like nobody's doing the final push, and then so the end is like, all right, here, just let's let this happen.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, every episode, like, because I kind of kept waiting, like one episode's got to be a letdown eventually, or just not entertaining. But that was never the
Right.
case, so it just kept
Hey,
on being entertaining.
that's good
And
TV.
now, if you're not a Game of Thrones fan, you may not like it, but
Is it super gory? You said there's less
this one's
nudity.
not as bad. There is nudity in it.
Yeah.
This one's not as much of like Game of Thrones kind of tried to go over the top, in my opinion. Like tried to, just
Absolutely.
show
Yeah.
nudity all the time.
I wanted to watch it because
Tried
that's
to
kind of
show
my thing. I
gore.
like medieval
Tried to
stuff,
show
but
gore all the time.
it was too
This
much for me.
one's it doesn't have too much gore. It kind of, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. It starts off with most of the gore in this is kind of like not death related, but like pregnancy related, if that makes sense. Like they're, so
Oh,
it
okay.
doesn't really show that much, but it's like, that's kind of
Yeah.
the graphic,
Gotcha.
uh, now it does show
Oh,
some stuff,
man.
other than that. But in my opinion, like as far
It
as
was actually more gory.
not necessarily that, but like comparing the first season of Game of Thrones with this is more like hooking, I guess would be the right
Tame.
word.
Yeah.
Like a can kind of hook you
Okay.
quick.
Well, good deal. Good deal. It's good to hear. I mean, everyone's saying this is an awesome show, so it's tough to be on the outside, but maybe I'll give it a shot
Sometimes you
someday.
gotta be a rebel.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.